Hi, this is Jessica Kim, trainer with CCS Mid-Atlantic. Today's video is going to be talking about how to customize your toolbar using the Notebook 11 software. Now, if you are using Notebook 11 already, you are probably used to seeing the adaptive toolbar. If you're not, I highly recommend that you go and update your software. The way that you're going to do that is you're going to go to smarttech.com, hit support, and then software downloads. They actually just released a Notebook 11.2 version, so I recommend that you do that. Before you download the new software, you want to make sure that you have your product key. To access your product key, you're going to go to Help, and then you're going to go to Activate Software. Give it a second, and you'll have your product keys available. Your product key is going to be the one that starts with NB. You want to jot that down so when you download the new software, you can be sure to input your product key to get the free updates. Now, talking about the adaptive toolbar in Notebook 11, you'll have your action items up here to the left. These are going to be your add page, delete page, save, all those action items. Now, in the middle, I have math tools and response. If you do not have that on your computer, you will not have it available on your adaptive toolbar. If you'd like to know more information about the math tools or the smart response, please contact CCS for more information. Now, you also have your tools in the middle, and when you select a tool, you'll notice that your properties will come up. We're going to talk about how to customize all of those tools, your toolbar and your floating toolbar today. Now, to customize your toolbar, what you're going to do is you're going to click on your gear icon on the far right hand side. If there are certain tools that you know that you don't need, for example, if you do not have a smart document camera yet and you don't need access to that, you're going to click on that smart document camera icon, drag it over, and you'll now see that it has disappeared. Now, if you want to fill something else in its space, so let's see if you want to do, I'm just trying to think, the smart recorder, because you like to record your lessons, you can place that there and you have quick access to it. If you are, and so forth. If you'd like to add some other things, you absolutely can. If I wanted to add the Bridget instant conferencing, I could do that here. And you can delete any of those items. You can also do the same thing for your tools. Now, last week I talked about the Magic Pen and its functions. If you're a fan of the Magic Pen, you can actually click on it and drag it over here. You'll notice that a blue bar appears to show where that tool is going to go. When I release my cursor, the Magic Pen is there. Now I'm going to hit done for the time being. You'll also notice that I still have the Magic Pen available once I click on my pens and drop down for my options for the different pen types. And you'll see that the Magic Pen is still there. But I can click on just the Magic Pen if I want quick access to it. So those are a couple different ways. I'm actually going to restore all of my default tool properties and toolbar. And same thing with my actions. And I'm going to hit done. Alright. Now we're going to talk about how to customize all of your different tools that you have available. Now you can do this with your pens, your shapes, your regular polygons, lines, text, and so forth. Now to customize a pen, you can click on a pen here. And you'll have your 4 different options, and you also have your different types of pens. To change these top 4, these are the 4 that are associated with your colored pens on your pen tray, if you have a 600 series board, or the different buttons for your 800 series board. Now this is going to be associated with a black pen, this red pen, green pen, blue pen. But if you don't like those colors, we can change that. So you're going to click on which one you'd like to change, and then you're going to hit your properties tool, your properties tab. I'm going to change the color of it. So let's say I use orange often. I can change the line thickness, the line style, and so forth. And then you'll notice that I have a button here that says Save Tool Properties. Now I want you to watch what happens to this icon when I hit that Save Tool Properties. You'll now notice that it is orange, and it gives me a preview of all the different properties that I saved it as. So when I click on that pen, it'll write in that fashion. So you can customize each of these to your preferences. Now, last week we also talked about the Magic Pen. I'm going to select the Magic Pen again. You'll remember, if you remember, there are 3 functions of the Magic Pen. The first function is it has a fading ink effect. And as I write, you'll notice that the ink begins to fade. Give it a second. Another function of the Magic Pen is that it has a spotlight feature. So let's go back to this page, and let's say I really want a spotlight right here. It gives me a spotlight. Now, going back to my page, it can be a little tricky with the Magic Pen. If, let's say, you're trying to write the number 30 because it's an answer to a problem, when you do that, the 0 is recognized as the spotlight feature. So to get away from this, or to kind of trick the smartboard, what you want to do is go back to your regular pen, and I like to customize one of these preset ones as a fading ink pen. And I usually like to pick the last one because it always reminds me that that's what it is. So I'm going to click on that last icon, and you can choose any of them if you'd like. You can change your color. So let's say I want this brownish color, change the line thickness. Now, before you hit Save Tool Properties, this is important. If you want to get the fading ink effect, you want to go to your Fill Effects. Now, you'll notice that there is a box here that says Enable Ink to Fade After You Write. I'm going to check that box. And I can also set how many seconds I want that ink to stay on my board. I'm going to just stick with 6 for the time being. And then you're going to hit Save Tool Properties. You'll again notice that this black dotted line is going to change to the brownish color that I selected. There we go. Oh, and I notice that it's dotted lines. So I want to go back to my line style and my Properties tab and change that as well. So, now this may not have been the best color to choose because it's not as bright. If I wanted to write the number 30 again, I'm just going to go back. With the Magic Pen, when I wrote the 0, it faded. Now, it gave me a spotlight. Now, what you'll notice is I added a fading effect to this pen, so it fades, but doesn't give me that spotlight feature that the Magic Pen does. So those are the ways that you can customize your tools, your pen tools. You can also customize your creative pen. Now, one of the things that I've seen some teachers do is if they're doing a unit on dinosaurs, they might change one of these to be the icon of a dinosaur. If you have a student's birthday, you can change it to their image. The way that you would do that is the same way that you change your different pens. So I might choose this one, go to my Properties tab, and this time you'll notice that in your line effects, it says either use a default program, or default pattern, I apologize, or use a custom stamp image. I want to use a custom stamp image, but I want to browse for an image that I would like to add. So let me go to my pictures file, and I'm going to use a stamp of my beautiful dog. And you'll notice it's a pretty small stamp, so if you're going to use a child's face, you want to make sure it's not a large picture where you don't really see their face. You really want to zoom in on their face. Okay, once I set all those different things, I'm going to hit Save Tool Properties. And you'll notice now when I use that, it is an image of my dog. Alright, and you can do the same for the others. If you want to actually talk about shapes here, with your shapes, when you typically add a shape in, there's no fill in them at the time, unless you choose the preset ones with the heart and the star. And there's also some additional shapes there by hitting that drop down. Anytime you see that black arrow, it means there are more options, so you can click any of them and you will see that those change. So, if I want to draw a circle in, I have my perfect circle. Now, if I click on the center of that circle, I can't move anything because there's nothing filled, there's nothing attached to it. The only way I can move it is by clicking on the actual exterior, the line of this circle. So I want to prevent that because it does become a problem sometimes when you're trying to quickly add a shape and move things around. So you can actually preset all of these. So with the circle, I'm going to choose that again. But this time I'm going to go to my Properties tab, and I'm going to fill in my circle. And then I'm going to hit Save Tool Properties, and you'll notice how that image will change. So I'm going to hit Save Tool Properties there. And now, when I use my perfect circle, it is already filled. So if I hit the center of it, you'll notice it is automatically detecting it, and I can move it around by hitting anywhere within the circle, whereas a circle with no fill, or any shape with no fill, will not allow me to move. So it's best practices to go ahead and customize each one of these with a fill. Even if you don't want a color fill, go ahead and fill it with the color white. That way, when you're using those shapes and you're trying to manipulate them, it's easier to do so. You can do the same thing with polygons. Something that a lot of teachers like to do is actually customize the font, because a lot of times when you're using the preset ones, you'll notice sometimes it's too large or it's not the font you like, and so forth. So, same function, you're going to hit which one you'd like to preset, go back to your Properties tab, and you can change all of those things. You can change the color of the font, you can change what type of font it is. I'm just going to pick a random one. The size, if it's bold, if it's underlined, so forth, what type of alignment you want, if you wanted left, centered, or right, the directionality, if you want bullets, all that, and you can even change the line spacing. Once you're done, you're going to hit Save Tool Properties, and you'll notice that this one has become blue Batoni MT with the size that I had preset. And what if I type, oh, for some reason it didn't give me that. Let's see. There we go. It's going to give me those functions. I know a lot of primary teachers like to have the Comic Sans print because of the way that the A is designed. So you can preset those. If you have some fun prints that fonts that you've downloaded, for example, I have my ABC Bulletin, which is a favorite of mine. I can preset one of these as my ABC Bulletin. So I'm going to go back here to my Properties tab, find my ABC Bulletin, change the size. I can change the color, line spacing, alignment, hit Save Tool Properties, and now when I type, let me go back and let's try that again. I will get that preset font. Alright, so now we've already talked about how to customize your toolbar with your different action items and your tools. And then we talked about how to customize each one. We're going to also talk about the floating toolbar. Alright, so we're going to talk about your floating toolbar. You've probably noticed that there is an icon right here that I've collapsed, which is my floating toolbar. You can either collapse it, move it up and down, and so forth. If it happens to be in your way and you want to get rid of it, the way that you would get rid of it is by going to your Smart Tools right here in your notification bar, and you're going to hit Hide Floating Tools. If you want to have it reappear, same thing. I'm going to leave it for the time being. And you'll also notice that you also have some additional tools there that you may not have known about. So those are some things that you can check out. Alright, so now you have your cursor, you have your pointer, you have your pen. You can actually customize this pen, so it's not just a black ink pen. So I can hit my gear. This is where I can access my tool properties. You don't have as many of those tool properties as you did in your regular notebook software, but you do have many of them. So I can change the color, the line thickness, the line style if I want, and hit Save Tool Properties, and you'll notice that black pen mark will change to the green color that I chose, and I can use that pen. Same thing goes for this. So you have two options of pens. You also have a highlighter that they give you. So you can change the color of your highlighter, the thickness, save those tool properties. I'm just going to load that back up. You also have your eraser. You have your 3 different sizes. Quick little trick. make a big circle, tap in the middle, gets rid of everything. You also have your right click. When you see that light is green, it means anything you click afterwards will give you all the right click functions, as long as I'm in my cursor, of course. Oh, didn't do it. There we go. Alright, now you also have your notebook icon, which will automatically launch a notebook for you. You have your keyboard, your undo, and so forth. Now, if you don't need two different pens, if you don't use your highlighter often, you can hit that the gear icon to customize what you want on your floating tools. Again, you can drag things back. If you like the area capture, for example, you can add that in, and so forth. And then hit done when you are ready. Oh, for some reason my screen capture didn't go back. There we go. And you can add that, and you can move them around and so forth. You can hit done when you are ready. I'm going to just go back to restore defaults. Alright, again, to get rid of that floating toolbar, if it's a pain for you, you can hit your Smart Tools in your notification bar and hit hide floating tools. And it is gone. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and you can really customize your notebook to be what you want it to be. If you have any questions, please contact us at, and I will provide my email address. It is jkim@ccsprojects, if I could type, .com. You can contact me directly for any questions that you may have. You can also check out our website, ccsmidatlantic.com. We do provide training at our facility or at your school. If you hit the training button, that's taking you over to CCS Projects. I did not change that link. I apologize. Probably help if I could spell. And if you go to the training tab and go down to workshops, you will see a list of available trainings that we offer at our facility in Columbia, Maryland. You'll notice a couple of them are free, and so forth. If any of those dates don't work, please contact me directly at the website at the email address that I provided, and I can see what we can do about customizing a date and time for you. I hope this was helpful for you in learning about how to customize the tools for Smart Notebooks. Again, be sure to go to smarttech.com and go to support software downloads to download the latest version of Notebook Software 11.2. Thank you.